Welcome back to Living Local, friends and neighbors. It is time now for the Board Store Home Improvements feature of the week. A dear friend of mine to my left, Miss Megan Larson. How you doing?
Hello, how are you?
I'm wonderful. You got a big event coming up this Saturday.
I do. I'm so nervous to talk at the big desk.
At the big desk. Dip, dip, hooray.
Dip, dip, hooray.
You were saying this kind of ties into your childhood a little bit?
Yeah, it's so weird, kind of, I guess, but growing up the way I did and food insecurity was a thing. My mom offered, this is such an abridged version of this story, but my mom offered me just some sour cream and then the spice rack and said, make your own dip for these chips that we have in our cabinet and just make your own thing. I'm assuming she was just doing that to get me out of her way for a little while, but I made dip that I fed my family for like a week on. So when I was speaking to the library system, we were trying to figure out some programming for children and kind of what would be accessible to everyone. And this is what we came up with.
So Dip Dip Hooray is coming down at the Holman Library, noon on Saturday. You do have to pre-register because there's only 25 seats available, but it's specifically for kids, right?
Yeah, yep, it's for kids. So I think we're gearing this towards like 4th graders to 9th graders. Just when they get home, how can they be a little bit more independent? How can they get themselves a snack? We're going to teach knife skills to be safe with that. There's no heat involved, so you don't have to worry about kids, turning on the stove while you're not there, anything like that. But just something where they can feel empowered to create their own food and kind of understand where that comes from.
This also kind of ties into the mission statement of your restaurant, right?
Yeah. I think it's super important for all of us, regardless of how old we are, to understand where, our food comes from and to have that tangible access to create. So it's kind of the gateway to big culinary things,
How long have you been open now? A month? Is that right?
It's a month and a half. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes.
Of course, if you don't know, we're talking about the Vintage Kitchen in La Crosse. How's it going?
It's so incredible. I was not expecting such an amazing response from the community. I mean, people have been coming in from all over. It's just been wild. It's been wild. I love it.
Also, if you don't know, we talked to her a little bit ago about this restaurant and what's going on over there. In a nutshell, what is the Vintage Kitchen?
Well, it's, Midwest comfort food, elevated a little bit. It's just a cozy atmosphere, kind of like Grandma's house around the holidays is kind of how I've been marketing it. It's just nostalgia.
Yeah. Talk about, I've made you talk about this before, but talk about making your tummy happy.
Yeah. So I grew up with a lot of food insecurity. And I have a younger brother. His name is James. And we grew up in a split family household. So, we were at our dad's house and we were at our mom's house. And one of the nights we were at our dad's house, we slept on bunk beds. And he was just kind of, moving back and forth and just not really sleeping. And so I kind of poked my head down on his, bunk bed because obviously older sisters get the top bunk. And I just said, what's wrong with you? Like, why aren't you sleeping? It's like 2 a.m. And he was like, my tummy hurts. I didn't eat anything today. And I said, okay, well, let me see what I can do. So I went into the cabinets and I went into the refrigerator and found a moldy loaf of bread and some condiments in the refrigerator. I cut off the mold of the bread, which you should not do, by the way. This is a do as I say, not as I do moment. And I got a little bit of mayo, and then some water. And I just said, I know it's not a lot, but at least it'll make your tummy happy. And that's kind of been the through line of my culinary life.
Which also ties into what we were talking about this weekend with Dip Dip Hooray. It always amazes me not only how elegant your dishes are, but how simple they are, in that they are food you recognize, but they are exactly elevated. Is that just what you do?
I think so. I don't really know what I do yet, right? I just, I come from really humble beginnings and I am still in a humble life now. And I think everybody deserves good food. And I don't think you need to make it anything more than what it is. We're not doing a ton of molecular gastronomy at the Vintage Kitchen, but you are going to get, things that are braised for hours, and you're getting things that are just comforting and soul fulfilling, I think.
The Vintage Kitchen, it is in La Crosse. It used to be the Restore Public House, was the Mint before that. It was Kate's on State before that. So if you're from the area, you know where it's at, but it's under brand new ownership and doing really exciting things. And if you've got a 4th through 9th grader and you want to give them some food independence, check out Dip Dip Hooray at the Holman Public Library this Saturday. You got to pre-register because there's only 25 spots available. Did we get everything?
I think so.
Okay.
Holman Library, 12 to 1:30. Kids, dip, hooray.
There you go. Dip Dip Hooray. And look for the Vintage Kitchen. You got a website for me?
I do. It's thevintagekitchenlax.com.
There you go, friends. Look it up today, thevintagekitchenlax.com. We will see her again. I'm sure she is Megan Larson. She owns the Vintage Kitchen, and this weekend, she's hosting Dip Dip Hooray at the Holman Public Library. We'll be back with more in just a bit. This has been the Board Store Home Improvements feature of the week. Start the new year warmer and more comfortable with new windows from the Board Store Home Improvements. Improve energy efficiency, reduce winter drafts, and enjoy a quieter home all season long. The Board Store Home Improvements. Improving your home, improving your life.